Angry, 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 Aussie. 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 Angry, 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 Aussie. 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 Angry, 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 angry.
Hey, look at me, ready. Hey, just kind of, hey, can you tell? I just had a shower. My hair's still wet. And I've got my dressing gown on because I could not be bothered getting dressed, get this far through the day without having a shower. Seems pointless putting clothes on afterwards. So here we go. It's Zeph like a young Hugh Hef, going with the dressing gown mode. And yeah, cool. So, hey, Justin, how you going? That was AD, who is intending to be here at some point, but very hard to know exactly when that will be. So we'll just continue with Saturday night shenanigans. Because why not? Why wouldn't you want shenanigans on a Saturday night thing? Oh, nice. Musical Aviator going to fly a twin-engine plane tomorrow. Oh, and you got front seat next to the pilot. Excellent. What's the flight plan? What shall you be seeing on said flight? Yes, and it is the Hefner look again, because I'm super lazy, and it took me till 20 minutes ago to have a shower today. Didn't seem worth putting clothes on. Oh, God, that's right. You told that story. You were going to go on a flight and the key got dropped down a hole in the floor, so the plane had to get taken apart to find the keys. That is just weird. Which reminded me, years ago I had a job and they had security in place. To get to the floor where I was working, you had to show your pass to a security guard. And one day I went there, like elevator doors open, security guards there, and I pulled the pass out of I had it in my pocket, and I don't know, caught on the edge of the pocket, flipped out of my finger, and sort of spun through the air and dropped down the crack in the elevator between the door and the floor, and was gone. And I just looked up, and the security guard was just giving me a what the fuck look. And I just thought, I am so glad you saw that, because that sounds like the biggest load of bullshit. I dropped my ID card down the elevator shaft. They actually recovered it. Like a week or two later, I got a replacement pass, but the original one got recovered a couple of weeks later from the bottom of the elevator shaft, slightly the worse for wear. Yeah. Okay, you've just had a shower too in it, so lazy Saturday, am I right? Oh, nice. Justin, you're going to be the first young Democrat aboard chair in Australia. Nice. Good job. Good job. So, Musical Aviator, your flight plan is Moorabbin, Essendon. Okay, yeah. Approach, fly past Melbourne CBD, and then Moorabbin, about 50 minutes to an hour. All things being equal, I'm probably going to be out in the region of... This is not saying anything about wanting to go on a flight, just because I'm probably going to Costco and the outlet mall that are on either side of Moorabbin Airport. Aussie Gun Bunny, hello and good evening. Oh, yes, that would be good to wish Betty White a happy 99th birthday tomorrow. Bet she hasn't been outside in a long time, considering the risk to her health should she contract COVID. Looking her up. January 17th, 1922. Holy cow. She's really hanging in there. My word. That is... Annette, you're buying clothes online again. Yes, I got to get a couple of things and I'm going to go in person. So yeah, look at fridges. Well, that's quite expensive, so they'll have to be one that seems like a good deal. And given it's an outlet mall, there may well be one that seems like a good deal. I'm going to get a couple of things, big boxes of things from Costco. Maybe a giant bottle of booze. Who knows? I kind of like, even if it's just for novelty value, the huge bottles of booze they sell at Costco, like 1.75 liters, that have a handle on them. Oh, we're getting into Flight Simulator 2020. Aussie Gun Bunny, you want to try it with VR? Nice. Oh, Nate, you bought booze too. Yes, what did I get this week? Some rum and tequila and that weird cocoa biscuit thing that I tried on the stream the other night. And another one, which is the thing that actually got me on the buying spree, something I've been trying to get because I've seen people talk about it and it was impossible to get. But it was finally on sale through the Dan's website, Horchata. So I'm going to get some of that. You got some Okar Tropic and Okar Gold. I've got half a bottle of Okar Gold. I'm good there. I'm not that far off running out of their sweet vermouth. I'm really tempted to get their Mando, the Mandarin version of limoncello, but so far I have resisted. There's also a cheap bottle shop out at the Outlet Mall. They might have some post-Christmas sale stuff there, so who knows what I'll buy tomorrow. Could be anything. So, well, my drink cart's totally fucking full. There's at least 50% more bottles there than there were a year ago. At least. Because I've been buying more than I've been emptying this year by quite a long margin, in fact. So just getting kind of obsessive with the buying. Start collecting and you just get all kinds of tied up in it. Actually, conceptually, hey, yeah, another drinks cart. There isn't enough room. I think I just need to be disciplined and stop buying booze, actually. Yes, I think that's possibly a more appropriate answer to stop buying booze. We shall see. Or drink more booze, so there's more empty spaces. That's a less positive way to look at it. So, yeah, I mean, I like the idea of just expanding even more, but there is nowhere to put another drinks cart there. They already take up a lot of space. So we'll maybe have to be a bit disciplined. Yes, there's the devil on my shoulder. It's yeah. Thank you, Big Bad Ads. You're liking the Hugh Hef dressing gown look? I'm too lazy to get dressed look. And hello, Stella, as well. Put it on the veranda. Probably could. I'd just be worried about possums knocking it over, actually, because they're stupid, curious creatures. And I'd be worried about the neighborhood possums causing problems. Okay. And for those who missed it, last night's stream went to 2 a.m. and I won't be doing no, not the worse for wear. I didn't even have a nap today. I'm not that tired. Just from a purely arbitrary point of view, I'm not going that late tonight. We'll see what happens, but there's no way I'm going past, say, midnight. The funny thing is, even at 2, I wasn't tired. I was having fun. We had a bunch of people on cam and chatting away, and there's some on my screen. There you go, it's gone. Chatting away. I wasn't tired. I just looked and said, "Oh fuck, it's 2 a.m." Just for the sake of arbitrariness, I should go to bed, and yeah, got a decent sleep in this morning, and just been lounging about, watching some things, doing some things, and here we are again. So, and how many drinks did I have last night? 4? No, I made 4. I made 4 cocktails for my video channel, and I think I had 2 drinks before I started making them. So there was a few drinks last night. Make a couple of drinks tonight. Just dinner. Stella, he had to catch up on a sleep deficit, sleep until 11. Well, that's good to catch up. I mean, I think I was in bed till 10:30. Oh, that's right. I was looking up a particular recipe because it had popped into my head because someone made it on YouTube, and I think it's got orange juice in it. I don't have any orange juice, but mind you, this one, Alaska cocktail, gin and yellow chartreuse. So I translate to gin and ochre gold. That actually sounds pretty good. And now you can make a pina colada with whatever you want. I know it's kind of traditional to use light rum, but yeah, I'm not a Puritan. When you're making tropical or tiki drinks, just make them with the rum you have, in my opinion. Thought so, yes. Blood and Sand is scotch and orange juice and sweet vermouth and cherry. And I don't have orange juice, so we'll forget that. Pina coladas and getting caught in the rain. Been a bit of that the last couple of days too. A lot during the live stream, actually. It rained quite heavily a couple of times in the live stream. So it's been gloomy today, but I don't think it's going to rain again. Oh God, I flicked on the TV screening Contagion and Outbreak, one after the other. So I watched them, and Contagion is trying to be kind of sort of realistic, and it's a 10-year-old movie dealing with the idea of a flu-like virus pandemic. Outbreak is just an over-the-top sort of action film that uses the idea of an Ebola-like virus reaching the US and a potential large-scale outbreak from that. Outbreak's silly. Contagion is trying to, use some science and whatnot in it. Is interesting. So, Justin, you should see what it's like being a delegate at Democrats abroad. Last year went 7 p.m. to 5 a.m. 3 days in a row. Hot damn. And so you've been mildly productive since sleeping. Oh, yeah? Cooked up a pot of chili. Nice. With your Carolina Reaper. And you did put a drop on your tongue. Nice. What's funny about Contagion, the virus in that movie is much more contagious even than COVID, like probably twice as contagious as COVID and about 20 times more deadly. So it spreads really fast and kills people 20-30% of the time, and kills them really quickly. And they do a good job with sort of explaining the science of a pandemic. And they do a good job with showing people panicking and being assholes. The one thing that was really jarring, they even use the term social distancing which I found interesting because I didn't remember that. But because it's a movie, you have this bit with the actors talking to each other. And this is like the people working for the CDC, the people who know how contagious it is. And they talk to each other from this far away without wearing masks, even though they keep saying about masks. And so whenever there's crowd scenes outside, people are wearing masks. But because it's a movie and actors don't want their face covered up, all the dialogue scenes between actors are done at really close quarters without wearing a mask, which was disconcerting. It really took me out of it. I was going like, you're doing all the other stuff and you're even talking about social distancing, but then the people who know most about it and are most at risk just interact with each other and talk from this far away without wearing masks. That was, that was a bit jarring. There's the funny thing, Stella. There was much less of that. They underestimated how stupid they were, saying there'd be more people marching, refusing to wear masks, shouting about rights. They had one internet guy. Jude Law plays the obnoxious internet conspiracy idiot. And I remember at the time when it came out, people saying like, that's not very realistic. Someone would do that. I'm going, God, you haven't been on the fucking internet, have you? And now 10 years down the road, we know from experience that attitude is basically mainstream. And the conspiratorial talk is spouted mainstream media and mainstream politicians, not one lone internet conspiracy idiot. Ashok, you think this is a Zen style outfit? Yeah. Just, dressing gown. Something between my teeth from dinner. It's really annoying. When you feel something with your tongue and then you can't stop popping it with your tongue? There's a bit of chicken stuck between my teeth. I shall have to floss later. Get rid of it. So it was quite funny that there was only one internet weirdo spouting conspiracies and trying to profit from talking bullshit. That's how different the world was 10 years ago. Whereas, in our current pandemic, we have uncountable, well, not uncountable, but, thousands of these idiots. So that was kind of funny that the conspiracy was only one person rather than thousands and thousands of people. Jeff on Facebook, I'm not going to catch anything. Oh, right. Sorry. Yes, I'm protected by alcohol. Some people limit themselves to alcohol hand sanitizer. I thought that wasn't going far enough. So this is all anti-COVID precautions here. So I'm safe is all I'm saying. That will keep me, well, if not safe, stop me worrying about things, honestly. Care not that much. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I was looking at a comment and I didn't get it first. If Trump was removed from office and Pence was put in, well, he'd only be acting president. From my reading of the law, he'd only be acting president. Plus, it isn't going to happen. The Senate is not going to even discuss the impeachment until after Biden's inauguration. But it's an interesting point. If the Congress and Senate had acted very quickly and removed Trump from office, and Pence was made acting president, you could argue he's then the 46th president, and Biden would become the 47th. I'm sure there would be endless arguing about the minutiae of that. But from a lot of stuff I've read, he would only be acting president, particularly for a very short time. Actually, now I want to look up What number president was Gerald Ford? He was 38th. Also, how long was he president? August 74. I see he was president for 2.5 years. So, yeah, of course he was regarded as an actual president because Nixon resigned. Yes, it's an interesting point of discussion, actually, if for a very short time, would Pence officially be president, or would he just be acting president? Would he count as a number on those things? All these questions, but not gonna happen because no action's being taken. So it remains an academic point of discussion. And would have been interesting to see people arguing over that one, actually. Yeah, see, Ashoka, we seem to be permanently in ridiculous situations. It gives us endless scope for speculation because ridiculous shit keeps happening. I mean, I think big part of Biden's plan will be make everything boring again. Not have everyone freaking out every 5 seconds. Won't stop the absolute Trump-loving morons going things. But speaking of ridiculous scenarios, here's AZ.
And Trump-loving morons.
Yeah, well.
I like the fact that you've got your Obi on the correct way, left over right, connotating good luck as opposed to bad luck.
Yes. And also connotating very lazy, only just had a shower before coming on the live stream and couldn't be bothered getting dressed.
Sorry I'm late. I got your message when I was at the shops. And,
yes.
Went, I better go to work. And because I phoned you earlier, but you were clearly in the shower.
I was in the shower when you called. Yeah.
See, I'm putting it together like a detective.
Yeah.
Right, that's not a camera. That's just me making gestures with my fingers.
Yeah.
Like a detective, I was putting together that you were in the shower and that you didn't pick up my call and say we're working night. And then I went, I'll just go shopping with my boyfriend, also known as Boss the House, who was in a snarky fucking mood. And so when you said you got to go to work, I went, good, got to go. See ya. Kiss me. Kiss me. See you later. Bye. And he's not home yet, so which is why I'm being very brave. If he was home, I wouldn't be so brave.
No, I was going to say, talking about him.
Yeah. Be way less fucking direct.
In
fact, the less direct I am, in fact, the more of the shits he gets. Mind you, I did get caught the other day. I got a phone call from a human in the house who said it was in the daytime. It was like 4, 5 o'clock. And I was crashed out in front of the desk. I was working, and I don't know how late I went. And I woke up and went, oh, yeah, I'm here. Work, and crashed out again. And then this housemate rings up and says, oh, fuck, I'm sorry I woke you up. And I said, no, you woke me up at the perfect time. Again, it's good. No, because boss of the house is going to get home soon. I've got to look like I'm fucking doing something. And I hear this laughing from the other side of the shelf that I can't see in the bed. And then I see the high glow bike riding jacket like rise monstrously like an animal out of bed. I'm going, fuck, sprung. And he was laughing his ass out. And I thought that was unfair. Very cruel.
Yeah, that was a bit of a surprise for you. Yeah.
Well, it was a bit of a surprise for me. I know I like surprises, just not ones that I don't like. Yeah, just ones that I don't set up and I'm the butt of. And I've been the butt of many surprises.
Many surprise butt incidents.
That's where it was only going.
That was where it was going.
Never going there.
Yeah.
It was, the actress was getting ready. La, 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 la. Bishop, are you right? Yep. La, 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 la. I say, Bishop.
Yes.
This is the butt action going on. Can't talk now. Fucking a 5-year-old. Are you going to turn off the camera for 5 minutes when I get home?
You can if you want.
Sure, man.
If it creates peace and harmony on the home front,
sure, man.
You can do the necessary for 5 or 10 minutes. So, because we want to preserve peace and harmony on the home front.
Fucking oath we do. Especially since I'm skint at the moment and I rely on the boss of the house for everything. And he's a tight-ass motherfucker. I tell you what, can I have a bottle of sauce? What kind of sauce? You're not getting name brand sauce. No.
Not the good stuff.
Black and gold. No, not black and gold. That will actually burn you. Doesn't matter what product it is. It will actually burn you.
Yeah. It's banned.
Burn you. And he says, well, you're not getting any better than Picture Brand with pursed lips of disapproval. So now I just know, just fucking register your poll vote when you're shopping with him. He's the kind of motherfucker that'll show up with a Ferrari and argue that the bottle of Whispers has gone up from $4. He's that kind of guy. I'm not complaining about the guy. But, and I'm not racist. But, no, he was really good. He got some things for me today that I needed.
Well, that's good.
I've got to ask him for a fucking belt. I've got to ask him for that tomorrow. My belt broke, so I've been wandering around with an Oki strap on. And, of course, I have a T-shirt out because I'm a cunt. And that's how I silenced fat and not cunt. But anyway, I can get away with it. What I can't get away with is my pants falling down in the middle of the mall. That is not only awkward, in some states like Victoria, it's technically illegal. So, they've effectively, I just had classic aphasia, so I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. Don't worry about that. Let it go by the wayside. We're talking in the chat about do the Democrats want to impeach Trump so he can't get pension or whatnot? The biggest thing is stopping him from running for office again.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
And that's why he did that particularly pathetic, sniveling speech the other day, because it had been made clear to him. This is my conjecture. It had been made clear to him that if he didn't, there were enough Republicans who would vote to convict him and judge him unfit for further office. So his whole fucking scam would fall apart because he couldn't say donate to me and I'm running in 2024 because he wouldn't be allowed to. He could probably still make a lot of money off these idiots, but not as much. Because as we've seen, he can make literally hundreds of millions of dollars off these morons.
Well, I mean, I remember one of the versions of The Apprentice that he did.
Yeah.
He told his people to go out and sell bottled water. And they said, we can't sell water. And he said, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. It comes straight out of taps. And people buy it by the fucking 10-litre load. So if they can do it, you're supposed to be able to do it. So off you go and sell water. And the winning team said, we're going to spend $10,000 and relabel the bottles, and called it Trump Power Water. And they sold all of their 4 pallets of water and bought 2 further pallets from one of the other teams at a discounted rate because they were losing badly. So they bought it at fire sale prices, like a quarter of the selling price, and labeled it up Trump water. And they did this in a fucking afternoon and sold 6 pallets of water that had Trump Power Water on it. And it was retarded, and it upset me. And you see these dudes in business suits going, yeah, all right, Trump Power, yeah. And it's like, he's a scamming fuckbag. Don't drink it. You'll only, your dick will drop off. You'll wear diapers. Not as sexy as AIDS, though. Mine have an L on the back of them, so get fucked. But Trump's doesn't. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm trying to say I've got a big penis. That's what I'm trying to say.
That's fair.
That's what I'm trying to say. Trump doesn't. I do. That's what I'm trying to say. And
I'm on board with that.
Trump can sell nothing. Is spectacular because he's sold nothing all his life, and he's so used to it now that he's destroyed an economy to do it. I think Bush was bad, and
he was.
Trump do worse.
Oh yeah,
fucking really saying something. He didn't even have a war on. Trump didn't even have a war on and still killed the economy.
It's pretty spectacular. Yeah.
When you've got a war on, you can spend trillions of dollars on fucking killing the shit out of ammunition. And on people. But when you don't have a war on, you've got to fucking blow money on shit.
Yeah. Trump though had a lot of experience with blowing money. This is the guy who went broke with a casino. You know, casinos are a license to print money. They are geared to not possibly lose money. And he broke with a casino
to the house.
Yeah, no matter what. And he had that water. He had a vitamin thing. There was Trump steaks at some point, mail order steaks. There was an online university that was a complete fraud. And
online universities blow my mind because online universities go well. Our friend, the Reverend Doctor, got his doctorate of divinity from an online university. He paid $57.80 for that Reverend Hood, and is entitled to be called the Reverend Doctor.
Yes.
Because of that $57.80. I think it was $57.80. He said so.
That sounds about right. That sounds about right.
At the time, he said, and therefore I have it here. And he showed it to me, and I'm going, fuck me, that's real.
It is absolutely real.
How long did you have to study? And he said, the study time was a bit excessive. It was 2 weeks, round trip in the post.
Yes. From the mailing off the money to getting the certificate back. Yeah.
He said it was an email of interest, then a bill, then a transfer, then the mailing of the testament. And he's going, all right, I'm now a Doctor of Divinity. And we have always, therefore, called him the Reverend Doctor ever since.
Absolutely. So I just noticed, was it Annette gin shopping? And you got excited that Hendrix was $65, and I have no idea if that's cheap, but you're saying it's $28 less than Woolies, so that is obviously cheap.
It's obviously cheap.
So I bought some Bundaberg 10-year aged rum, their black rum, and that was like $25 off.
Black Bundy's nice.
And that's the thing. Like the thing, people are shit on Bundaberg. They mean that bog standard underproof, cheap one. But the Bundaberg distillery's been running for 100 years or something. They know a thing or two, and their upmarket rums are quite good.
Quite nice.
Yeah,
really quite nice. And Yeah, I mean, you get your Waraji style rums, toward the back end, and then you get your really nice officer sipping rums up the top end.
Yeah. I got one from there's another rum distillery in Queensland, actually Australia's oldest rum distillery, the Beanley Distillery. I got their white rum, but they also do this special label called Inner Circle. I've got this 75% alcohol rum, so 150 proof rum. And they call it Inner Circle because they said there was these special batches that were made and only board members on the Sugar Council ever got these special blends. But now it's been freed for us common folk and we can get the Inner Circle rums made at the Beanley Distillery. So.
I just have always loved how Beanley and Bundaberg throw shade at each other just gently.
Oh, very much, yes.
All the time. Like Beanley says oldest distillery and Bundaberg goes best distillery, and they're all fucking
yeah.
And of course they're in sugar country, so they're really not that far away in Australian standards.
No,
Australian
and that's
standards.
they're
1,000 kilometres apart, but in Australian standards they're not that far apart.
Yeah, they're in the same state, so
exactly.
But that's the thing,
neighbours and can punch on.
That's a worldwide thing. Wherever there's a sugarcane industry, you end up with a rum industry. That's like the Caribbean and South America, and basically anywhere where there's a sugarcane industry, you end up with rum industry.
Japan.
Do they have their own sugar? Are you being silly?
No, they import sugar and molasses and make rum.
I know they make.
Because they made fucking whiskey and said, well, we've done that. And they said, what else can we do? And they fucking went nuts and went everywhere and said, we could do vodka. The Russians do vodka and they're next door. We can grow potatoes. Who knows how to grow a potato? Someone knows how to grow a potato.
Japanese gin and Japanese whiskey are really trendy these days.
Trendy and really nice.
It's like you've always said the thing about like Japanese jazz, the fact that they can copy something perfectly note for note was not the inspiration. But that's what they've done with their booze, is absolutely meticulously build it step by step. And apparently an upmarket Japanese cocktail bar is quite a thing, because there's this entire performance with and they'll have just this eggshell thin glassware that they stir the drink in, and is so elegant with a spoon, it doesn't touch the sides, because you'd be scared a spoon would smash the fucking glass. And they just do this thing.
It'll shatter.
Yeah, the skill is to stir and not make any clinking sound in the glass. And something like, I saw this, and there's a video of it on YouTube. Someone was talking about it. There's a particular bar you go and ask for a Negroni, and rather than using the standard ingredients, which is Campari and other things, and Campari is a bitter sort of herbal aperitif, they make their own version. He just gets a mortar and pestle and different herbs and spices and grinds them up, and then mixes them with a base spirit, and there's this whole little magic show happens before you, and then you're presented with this thing. He's just made you a bespoke drink from scratch with all these herbs, and it's like, oh, shit.
No shit around here. And these same bars, you'll have one of the junior barmen taking cubes of ice out of the tray, and then just with an ice pick, will be smashing away at it and form a perfect sphere. And pop in your drink.
Yes, they specialize in the clear glass, and there'll be a big chunk, and someone will sit there chipping away. They can make diamonds. I've seen one guy, like, he's a master bartender. He's been doing it for 40 years or something, and he sits there with a knife and he's going, and from a cube, and he puts it in the glass. You go, oh, now it's a diamond. And I don't mean like I mean it's they're multifaceted on top with perfect beveled edges, and it's like, holy shit. You just sat there with your little knife and did that. No, it's like
and fucking CAD diagrams. But those guys, they do it in about 20, 30 seconds. And it's done. And it's that same ice that you make, the clear ice.
Yes.
And like I'd get fucked like making it, even if I had a technique that would work and my ridiculous manky arthritic retarded hands could fucking hold it, I would get lost. Like, because it's clear ice. I'd go chip, 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 and I'm going, where the fuck am I? What shape was I making? You know, where am I now? And, you know, you'd get this thing and they'd go, what's that? And I'm going, it's a nouveau piece.
It's a little bit of abstract art. It's a one-off.
It's avant. And away you'd go. Are we playing with anyone else tonight, or is it just us?
Oh, if anyone's in the mood, I guess we can throw it out to the audience and see if anyone's in the mood. I'll put the link out there. If anyone wants to join in for a Saturday night chinwag, seems like a thing to do. And that's got to go and do a thing. Why do I think that's go out and buy some gin? Because she was really worried that she didn't have any gin left.
Annette, we've all got to go out and do a thing occasionally.
But
I've had and for quite some time now, and I forgot. It's very foolish to forget.
That's a thing. It's also a thing. Sounds like you're pulling the thing apart there. Well, you were worried.
I was worried there for a second. I was counting up, and the numbers were all wrong. And I thought I haven't already taken it, or someone's stolen it.
Oh, no.
These tiny little ones.
Oh, okay.
On a stick.
And speaking of tiny little ones, it's Shieldsy. How you doing, buddy?
Hey!
Every freaking time.
I know, I'm working up with something. I'm just obsessed with doing that whenever anyone pops up. What was the last thing we said? I'm somehow going to work that into it. How's your day been, mate?
You're laughing, mate, because the number of times Angry said, speaking of cunts, it's 80.
Well, yeah, that's a thing.
You know, that's when he's feeling very, very kind. Shieldsy, you've got yourself in darkness there, mate. And I can only approve. I don't like natural sunlight. It ruins my complexion and also makes me burn because I don't have enough blood in me. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying I'm a vampire and I drink people's blood. Well, how else would I be this cool? Or live? So, Shieldsy, are you one of the Brotherhood? Can you go with your teeth? Do you? Do you? Do you?
What?
I'm saying he's a vampire.
Oh, right.
In their unknowing ways. I shouldn't say unwashed. You just got out of the shower. That was kind of stupid, really. Worse than you. It was sort of it was dumb. It was dumb. I feel bad. I feel like the spear that's going through my head at the moment fucking is deserved.
That's fair. That's
Chelsea,
fair.
he going. What have you been up to?
Working.
What do you? I don't know what you work as.
I don't know. Working around home.
Yeah, right.
Oh, just doing stuff around the home, right? Yeah.
As our American cousins would say, yard work.
No. Got to keep the place up to scratch. Like a house inspection. It was supposed to be last week, but they had to cancel it because of the COVID lockdown thing, and now, or was it compulsory masks until Friday? So
my landlord said that I had to do a video house inspection for my house, and I went, "This is way too fucking good to pass up." And so I started outside the real estate office, their real estate office, and said, well, here we are outside. I'm going to say their name, Horton Stotts, and pan the camera around to their office. And there's no one home. So I've been asked to do a video home inspection of my home. Now, it's about a 3 to 5 minute walk from their office to my house. So I'm just going, well, I could describe it for you. The house is generally pretty well maintained. It's fairly clean. There's one guy lives there and one guy who's there quite a lot. And I think we know who that is. Yes, it's the boss of the house. Yes. You know him and love him as the guy who fixes all our computer problems. It's supposed to be me, but I haven't been doing it for years. And I'm just describing everything and the house and what's going on. And then finally, when I got back to the house, I said, yeah, that's it, kids. It's been good. And then I opened the door and then shut the camera off. I've got to go for a couple of seconds, but I'm not going. I'm being quiet and silent. See you soon.
Okay, you can be quiet and silent for a while, buddy. That's okay. Sorry, I was distracted. Abigail, I just noticed you come in. Yes, this is my inner samurai. It's also I was too lazy to have a shower until just before going on live, and at that point, there seems no point in getting dressed, so I just put my dressing gown back on. But, yeah. So, so you're still having a hot summer up there, Shieldsy?
We just had a storm roll over earlier, but didn't get rain from it. So, gotta love Queensland summers.
Yeah,
they play mind games on you.
Yeah, absolutely. We have had a bizarrely mild summer. Had a few sort of over 35 days, but not many. But then, I shouldn't speak too soon because January and February tend to be our harshest weather. In fact, there's sometimes when we get the heat.
Cyclone season up here doesn't finish until late April, early May. So we've still got a long way to go up here.
At least we don't have a cyclone season. That's another real mild week ahead predicted. I was just checking. So
you just get the remnants of our lows when they go to the coast.
It's kind of
that's all you get.
Several days after you have a storm, we get the remnants of it. Or the same deal. If there's some intense weather in Adelaide, a day later it sort of drifts across us. So after my hair looks because my hair's wet. All I did got out of the shower on my wet hair and just brushed it back, so it's sitting really flat because I just brushed it back when it was wet. So normally when it gets dry, and I mean it's dry now, I can do this, and look, see now that's much better.
At least your hair doesn't go curly. Oh my god, it's annoying.
It does. Look, well, you can't really tell, but at the back,
mine's twice as curly.
Oh yeah, no, yours is heaps curlier than mine. Yours is heaps curlier than mine, but mine's going curly at the back. It's not curly at the back, but you're
brush it and still gets knots in the back. It annoys me like hell. I've been wanting to go to a barber for 3 months now, and every time I go past it, I go, nope. Too many people in there.
Yeah.
So.
I haven't had a haircut for 6 months or something. So, and it's been, they've been open for a month or two now, and I've just been too lazy. So Abigail's hair turns into a giant pyramid of frizz. I've got very fine hair. Like if I like condition it, it'll go really soft and just sit really flat. So I tend to not condition it so it has some sort of fucking shape to it. Beauty tips with Angry. There you go.
So you're a big fan of Beanley?
I don't mind it. I've got at the moment I have Beanley White Rum, Bundaberg Black Rum. What's the age on the Bundaberg? It's
several years.
12. No, this is Bundaberg 12-year-old. That's getting serious. So they got their Black Rum.
That's the one they only do one barrel a year.
Yeah,
they do one whole barrel and that's it. Yeah. When it runs out, it runs out.
And it was like 25. But the reason I got this one is it was on special, and I actually, even though there's still a fair bit in that, it was like almost $30 off at Dan's this week, and I'm like, you know what? Fucking while it's on special, I'm getting it because I will drink the other one, so I might as well save the 30.
That's the only thing Queensland's good for is rum.
Yeah.
Covered in sugar.
Yes, exactly. Well, just saying that. Anywhere that has
Well,
sugar.
I don't know how Beanley's going to survive much longer. The sugar fields around there are going to be developed soon, so
Oh,
don't know
Ooh,
what
that-
they're going to do with their molasses.
they'll have to. Well, it's going to get more expensive for them if the local sugar fields are gone. God, yeah, they'd have to be pissed off about that. Really? Yeah.
The only reason it's going is because the family who owns the mill is done. They're not continuing on with it, so
Well, there you go. That could
it's
be
not
it.
worth the effort. And development has just creeped in too fast, so they can't expand to keep profitable either. So
Yeah.
there's
no,
Bundaberg. They're expanding every year, so
Yeah, well, Bundaberg's really mainstream compared to Beanley. They like everyone knows Bundaberg. Beanley's a bit more obscure. Whereas I think a lot of people think there's some better quality stuff in the Beanley range because they have a real range from the white rum, which I have, through to some aged ones. I had one of their aged ones before, drank it all. Then that's the way it goes with your rums. But I don't know. I got rums from all around the world. I think I've got some from like the Jamaica, West Indies area, one from Venezuela, and so.
Jeez, my old man, he used to work in the sugar fields up on the Sunshine Coast before they went bust up there.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a good story. One school holidays, I was with my old man, and we're moving sugar bins up to the next field.
Yeah.
And one of the points on the track was the wrong way.
Yeah.
And I ran ahead to switch it back so that bins can continue through.
Yes, yeah.
Guess what? Didn't make it.
Oh, no.
I was in mid-switch, and half the bins went one way. The rest of the bins went the other way, and they tipped over and took us half a day to rewrite them all up because it was right on the major line for that area.
Yeah.
No. Guess what? I was hiding for the rest of the day.
Yeah, Jesus. No, that'd be a bit tense. That'd be a bit tense.
I think it was like 50 bins they went over on their side, so... And didn't help, 2 of them were full. Oh, God.
It was only a couple of weeks ago I was hanging out with Abigail and Annette, and Abigail bought Canadian Club whiskey, and it's all gone because it's too delicious. Well, see, I'm splitting my rum drinking. I've got a weird number. I never thought I was a big rum guy, and suddenly there's like 8 bottles of rum over there of different types, and like, how did that happen? Mostly because they were on special. Like, it's like, okay,
you don't buy rum on full price.
Yeah, it's like
price as it is.
Yeah, it's like I'm always seeing different types of rum recommended for different drinks. Oh, that's one of the types of rums that and it's on special. Get that, and so suddenly I've got all these different rums, which is a bit weird, quite honestly. I never thought I was the rum.
And then the only other thing I like about Bundaberg's there is soft drinks.
I do like the Bundaberg soft drinks, actually. Yes, yeah, I'll put you on that. They're pretty good.
Oh, sarsaparilla. What's the other one? Burgundy and lemon lime. My fave. So.
Yeah, I've got the sarsaparilla down there actually. Yeah.
I remember when the SARS came out, I drank too much of it.
I found I got a little 4-pack because I wasn't sure if I liked it. And I drank one on a stream. It's like, oh, this is pretty good, but there's something about it. I wouldn't drink a lot of it. Like, one bottle of it is good. And I definitely enjoy it. But something about the flavors, like, oh no, one's good. I'm fine.
The sarsaparilla, I find, has to be cold. You can't have it.
A lot of ice.
Cold.
I drink a lot of ice.
Yeah, I'm one of those weird people. I drink hot soft drink.
Yeah, I'm Mr. Pepsi Max.
Like when I go and get soft drink at like McDonald's or Hungry Jack's, I go no ice, please.
No ice.
I do not like cold soft drink. I just don't like it.
very amounts of ice in my glass. So I've got
I'm the opposite.
and I'll put 2 huge chunks of ice in it, and then top it off with drink. So and that's where I get my
the only time I like ice is in summer.
Well, see, this is weird. Like I will, like a lot of people are seasonal with it. I think they're like, oh, in summer I'll have cold foods, and in winter I'll have hot drinks. And I'm like, no, I like hot food all the time, even in summer, and I like cold drinks all the time, even in the middle of winter. So
that's funny. I'm the opposite.
Yeah. I think you're the normal one. I think you're the normal one.
I like cold stuff in winter as well as summer, but then again, I can't pass Mum's nice roast lambs and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, a good roast. I can't beat the good roast. Oh my god, what's that dad joke Abigail's randomly thrown in? Did you know that when you're out camping, you can't run, you can only ran because it's past tense? And I was like, oh no, okay. Speaking of the past tense, AIDS's back. I'm just formulating. I'm going to make some drinks. I'm finding drink recipes in here. And
are you? I just have to point out that boss of the house is a very generous and kind man.
Good call.
His good looks and failure
and charm.
My Indigenous heritage every time we eat is something that I appreciate, and something that I appreciate that I have to use different cutlery for. I see and understand his views on these things, and appreciate that his European heritage has differences, sometimes better than my culture, and am prepared to go that way.
All right.
Us barbecuarians always know which way we should be.
I'm making a drink.
You've got the finger?
He's got the finger.
You're semi-undressed there, big fella, and it's turning me on.
Showing the cleavage, the money shot.
I know. I was thinking I could have put a diamond heart-shaped pendant there. Sapphire, surrounded by ruby gold.
Just got to lure the punters in somehow with, the occasional cleavage shot.
He needs one of those red ones they wear, and have the
a silky
pipe.
one.
Yeah, and the pipe.
I used to have one of those actually.
I saw
got it from an op shop.
Save it for the after party. Good one, Abigail.
Fucking hell! It goes everywhere but my glass.
Well,
I
aim.
can't see shit. I can't see what you're doing.
I'm trying to crack a big piece of ice into smaller pieces to mix, and I'm really bad at it. Like all the cool kids on YouTube sit there with ice and go, ksh, there you go, and it goes, and I go, ksh, and chips just go flying everywhere.
That's
but
when
in
I'm cutting my fingernails and trying to get it into a beer can, and just doesn't.
It's that type of thing. Yes. Yeah. But see, like, okay, big cube of ice. I want to break it into smaller bits for mixing, and say, hit it with a spoon to try and crack it.
Are you sure it wasn't mallet?
You can get these bags you put it in. Oh, that's a bit better, but a big chunk missed. Come on, you bastard.
You can put them in little mesh bags.
Yeah, no, there's particular bags you can get for crushing your ice. Hit it with a mallet and then you get this really finely crushed ice. There's a name for them. I forget what they are, but
yeah, it's that net they have on the Expanse for the ice harvesters.
No, these are these cloth bags that absorb the impact, so you don't damage.
Sometimes a man has to stand up. No, Uncle, don't do it. Scared the shit out of that scene. Just leaves him in space and fucks off. Don't worry.
Yeah,
you're on the lane.
the Expanse is a bit intense.
And they do pick him up. That was the thing. He got left out in outer space, and they did pick him up. It was like, that's weird. And his uncle was right. He was right in the lanes. So you're an ice smashing, not quite winner.
Not very good at it.
Gold, silver, bronze. We're saying plastic. So, do you think your technique needs to change, or do you think it's just a knack practice thing?
I think it's a practice thing. I should do it more, and I'd probably get better at it.
It is summer. It is summer. It's the ice season.
It is. And it's about being 100% class. Just saying, you're cracking a what now? Hey, keep it for the after party.
Oh, so many
yeah, exactly.
For the after party.
Yeah, I know. All sorts of things cracking off there. Hey. All right, I'm making an Alaska cocktail, which is mostly gin.
Has it got any Inuit influences in it? I'm just
I have no idea.
Because of those fucking seal slapping fuckers.
I have no idea why they call it Alaska.
What?
I have no idea why they call it an Alaska cocktail. It's just got a fuck ton of gin in it. And
maybe
some
the ice.
I was going to say the same.
Yellow, well, they say yellow chartreuse, so I'm doing my Okar Gold, which is very similar. And orange bitters, and that's it. It's a very simple drink.
Oh, so it's got yellow snow in it. Is that what
I was thinking the same.
You know what? I think you're onto something. I think you're
Yeah, not Canadian, Alaska. Yellow
Yeah.
snow.
yellow.
I'm going to
snow.
laugh that. I think that Easy said it out loud.
Yeah. I think that's what it is. All right. This
Don't do
will
what
do.
these guys do. Don't do that yellow snow. That's where the-
What did you kick?
No, there was like a bit of
Oh.
grit in my glass, and so I just blew on it to get it out of the glass, and it went
I think
like,
gotcha.
into my eye. And like, physics, it just blew straight up and into my eye. But,
I fucking hate that when that happens.
You're right.
I think it's still under my eyelid. Oh, fuck, it is. It's still under my eyelid. Oh, god damn it.
Careful.
It's just ice, right?
No, it's like a bit of dirt.
Yeah.
You need to
I'll
wash
just
it out.
blink it away.
All right.
All right.
You need to wash it out.
As long
I
as it's not
recommend
showed in metal.
everyone with rapturous tails. Except I got
Shit.
fucking told off last night 3 times for rapturous tails.
That's all right. Oh, no. Got my yellow snow. That's all right.
It's good, man.
It is very yellow, isn't it?
I've swum in Alaskan waters like that before. And it's layered too. I like the layers. It's probably because there's oil in it. Right? You're
There's
in
oil
Alaska,
in them night hills.
You're drilling for gold in them there hills. In
Yeah.
Alaska.
Yeah.
And you find oil and you go, that's better. Let's just displace the local community and make millions of bucks.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's Australian culture coming out again.
It is. That's what's going on there.
It's just natural to me,
Mm.
If there's something precious, let's just displace everything and fucking.
It's that Victorian bullshit coming out.
My Victorian bullshit.
It is kind of Australia-wide. That just. What's the saying? I forget where I saw it once was growing up, but it was like, if it moves, shoot it. If it doesn't, chop it down.
Yes. Mill it, send it to fucking Japan.
Yeah. Or the other version was, if it moves, shoot it. If it doesn't move, kick it so it moves, then shoot it. And it was just like,
Yeah. If it moves, fuck it. If it doesn't, push it.
no. I think, and yeah, this is suitable elegance for the dressing gown look.
I think so, mate.
So it's a slightly bitter one, but I like a bit of variation from time to time, so that's okay. Bit of variation in the type of drink.
It's the urine
That's fair
sample.
too.
Just yeah. Lots of urine sample drinks going on. I reckon I might. There's this one called a coin toss. 2 shots of full-bodied amber rum, and I have a few that qualify in that area. 3/4 of an ounce of sweet vermouth, quarter of an ounce of yellow chartreuse, quarter of an ounce of Benedictine, and then 2 dashes of peach oil. God, that's all booze again. If I keep making all booze cocktails, I'm a bit
That's not going
fucked
to hurt
up.
anyone. It hurts nobody.
Fucked up. But
Well,
that's
you're
okay.
trying
Making all booze cocktails
New
is
Year's
a fine
Eve.
thing and a grand Australian tradition. Continue on, sir. Continue on.
Yeah.
Climb
Yeah.
that mountain. It's called Kosciuszko. And only 3 men have climbed it before. Most people drive there on
Yes.
four-wheel drives and then just get out and
Yeah.
go, I'm on top of Australia.
Yeah.
Let's go to Mount Janini where it's prettier.
Oh.
Mount Janini is, of course, the highest mountain in Canberra. And
What?
has been bombed 480 times by the RAF.
Well, it's a good. If it's sticking out like that, it's a good target. You know, you can see it from a
it's a shitty target because what you've got to do, literally, is you've got to wind around the mountains in the Brindabellas and fucking screaming around this fucking hairpin bend. And the only way through is to the left of Mount Janini, and Mount Janini is sort of poking out there on the right, and you've got to hit it and then fuck up. And if you fuck up, you're mountain pizza. The RAF fast jet pilots reckon it's the
mountain
best
pizza
bomb run you'll do in training. Fuck going overseas, the Mount Janini bomb run, because they usually get them to do it at night as well, just to fucking make it easier. And they're screaming through there, they say, about 480, 500 knots. And it's like, it's really fucking moving. You're about 20, 50 meters off the ground. Just going, shit, I'm in a multi-million-dollar jet with a fucking bomb on it about to hit a target. No, because it's about a 20-meter fucking rise. Don't fuck up now. Bye. Remember where your ejection cord is. See ya. And off they go. And you hear them once or twice a year out of Canberra. You can hear the FA-18s take off, and they're loud. It used to be the F-111s take off doing the Mount Janini run. And with an F-111, it's even fucking harder because they're bigger, faster, and badder, except that they do have ground-following laser, which they took out of the rest of the planes, which blows my mind. Anyway, and they were loud. I always wondered, why would you bother going Mach fucking 2 if they can hear you coming from fucking 6 or 12 fucking light years away? I suppose once you got there, they wouldn't catch you.
It displaces the sound, so it's very hard to. You can hear them coming, but it's like, how far away? How far away are they? The ones that do the air show at the Grand Prix used to be funny. Living in East St Kilda, the day before the Grand Prix, they do a whole bunch of test runs, and it's like, this is what it's like living in Beirut. Jesus, you're just down at the shops, and jets go screaming overhead.
Try be down in Brisbane the weekend before Riverfire. They do test runs straight up the Brisbane River.
Yeah,
oh, nice.
It gives you a heart attack when they come through because they come below the buildings.
Yeah, they would. Yeah, I love the one the finale they did at the Grand Prix after doing all their flybys roaring. They go. Their final thing is to go straight up, and they can go a long way. They actually disappear from sight. They've gone so high that it's like a vanishing act. And a couple kilometers up in the air, they peel off and go back to home base. But it's a neat finale. They've been screaming by you a few times, and then they just go straight up.
I've watched them do that from the islands here doing Riverfire, and you watch their flame as they're going up and up and up and up and up and up, and then it just peters out and you don't see it again. Yeah,
it's a neat magic trick they like to finish with.
But they're dead giveaway when they don't turn their marker lights off, so you're following their marker lights in the sky.
Well, I think if it's a sunny day, they even get away from that, because if you're on the ground, you tend to be looking into the sun and you can't see a damn thing. That's part of their vanishing act, to do it in the middle of the day. So when you look up at them,
it was a shame when they got the new jet fighters. They can't do that anymore. They don't have the capacity to burn the fuel out the back anymore.
That the big jets that come into land from overseas still dump fuel the same way that those F-111s used to dump and burn. they still dump fuel coming into Melbourne Airport to make themselves the right weight. But they don't burn it. So it just falls on the fucking ground, polluting the shit out of everything. It'd be much
I'm right
better.
under a flight path where I live.
Oh no! Yeah.
Better if they fucking put a sparker in the back and burnt it off. Because the other thing too is they know this, right? They know with planes' computers now, if it's coming in for crash, a plane can dump all of its fuel and burn it safely out the back before it crashes, because the plane knows through its radars and computers and shit, oh, we're in a bit of shit here and we're not
that and the wings are designed to shear off as well.
Burn it, because then fire kills most people in plane crashes. However, that doesn't change the fact that Angry is drinking
Yellow snow.
And I think you should come up with another drink with all booze in it that's sweet.
This next one it's got rum, so it's sweeter for a start. This is the one I am going to make next, a coin toss. It's mostly rum and sweet vermouth, and then it's got the herbal stuff, chartreuse or...
Sounds like a drink you should be drinking while you're doing 2-ups.
Yeah, particularly if you make it with a Queensland rum, they're very 2-up friendly. Or I suggest you also make it with rye whiskey or applejack or brandy or blended. So they're basically saying, you know what, just fucking drink something, okay?
Christ's sake, get in here.
Here's a recipe, and if you don't have the rum, just put some fucking booze in it, is what they're saying. Just put some booze in it and fucking drink it. Because they're really going all over the shop. They're saying, oh, you can make it with rye whiskey or apple brandy or scotch or, just fucking drink. Just fucking drink. Why are you hassling me? Have a drink.
Have you got it out of a fucking still, you tool? Stick some in. Doesn't matter if it's the first shot. Just stick it in. Yes, it's paint in it. No one gives a fuck. Just get it in your guts, for fuck's sake.
Yes. Abigail raises a good point. Smoke kills a lot of people in plane crashes. So does the sudden stop. It's like everything's fine and dandy till you come to that sudden stop. And
that sudden stop, however, is not actually as common as we would tend to believe. The sudden stop is, in fact, actually pretty rare. It's usually spurts itself out over a fairly longish distance. It's a pretty quick stop.
I'd still call that a sudden stop. I'd call hitting the ground.
But it's not immediate.
That's a sudden stop.
Even I still call that a sudden stop.
Sudden is fair. I'm gonna grant sudden, but not immediate. Immediate stops tend to
not instant
structures and the structures within, the fleshy structures within. There's one guy who
you have to hit the side of a mountain for that. And there was there's been a few of them.
Yeah.
There's been a few of them.
Mountain piece is a good way to do it. There's a guy who hijacked a plane and who deliberately drove it into the ground at top speed, and the wings fell off before he got there, but the engines were still going. So he hit the ground going Mach 3. And
now that's going to be a sudden stop.
Sudden stop.
Relatively speaking, from Mach 3.
Whole aircraft, which was a Boeing 727, was 2 meters in length at the end of the experience.
Yeah. Yep, that's.
It was an awkward investigation.
Yeah. Sorry, I just remembered a joke thing. I think it was from the Onion website and that was headlined, "Guy in an escape corridor." When you're in the seat that's near the emergency exit, and it's like, "Guy in emergency exit row taking the security briefing way too seriously." And it's because the stewardess, I have no idea. This guy's just keeps saying how ready he is. And it's like, dude, we're a cross-country flight, man. If this goes down, we're all dead. We're just giving you emergency evacuation stuff so you feel good. When there's no water landings here, man. If we hit the ground, it's all over. So
it's
calm down.
Problem. Yeah,
calm down, son. Just
Believe me, Believe me. We
Oh,
have a
if he
mate who
crashed
stands
into a
here for
lake.
reason. What's that?
You'd have to be well lucky.
But you know,
That's like, what's
this
his name? Sullenberger, who landed on the river in New York.
Oh, that was a fluke and a half.
How the fuck you do that and stay fat?
That was, and not lose anyone. That was miraculous.
That was
It was
smooth.
interesting.
That was
That-
very fucking smooth. And
Yeah.
do you know they tried to get him in shit for that?
Yeah, I watched
Literally-
the movie where Tom Hanks plays Sully, and it was like, we don't want to admit to mechanical failure. We want to say it's your fault, because they say, oh, all our tests show you could have made it to an airport. And then he said, how do you figure that? And what they said was, if at the instant the first thing went wrong, and that was only comparatively minor, if you had turned around and headed back to the airport, you would have easily made it. And then he's like, yeah, but there wasn't a problem till the second engine went. Can you show me in a simulation making it back to the airport?
And a guy went in and he actually tried to do that, and he said, nah, couldn't do it.
Yeah.
There was only something like 5 pilots out of the 100, because the airport union got onto this. The pilot union got onto this too. And they tried to get back to the airport. No one did. And then they put 100 blokes in and said, just fucking land on the water, just for shits and giggles, land on the water. And only 5 guys made it. Only 5 guys didn't crash the fucking plane. They're going, oh, Sully, smooth move, mate.
Because he put before he hit the water, he put the nose up. And it was the tail what took the grunts of the...
And so it skated in. Yeah. But it also was really funny when finding out they tried to fuck him over. It's like, are you guys not reading the public mood? Because the whole public is treating him like a hero. And if you try and bury them...
Andrew, Airbus, French company.
Yeah, well.
I actually watched that live on television when it happened too.
So did I.
I saw that was the first really big news story I saw broken by the internet, because there were people in office buildings overlooking the river with their phone. This is the first time phone cameras were decent, and they're taking pictures in video and posting them on Twitter and go, "You will not fucking believe it! A plane just landed in the river," and you're getting all these.
That was the one thing too. There was so much evidence that he lost his engines and everything, and they still tried to shift the blame to him.
Yeah, because they didn't want to accept responsibility, and they said
didn't
it's your
want to
fault.
accept responsibility. And there was one lovely moment in the movie. He said, "I've been flying for 47 years, and everything's come down to 14 seconds."
Well, he was an ex-military pilot too, so that was part of his training. They actually trained how to land on water.
Most American commercial pilots are military trained. They do a stint in the military, in the Air Force.
Oh, that's so they can get their license, doing their licensing covered.
Yeah, and they go, "Hey, airlines, I'm out of the military. Do you want to hire me?" And the airlines say, "Yes, yes, we do."
And I think they only have to do X amount of time in the US Air Force, and then
I'll tell you what the X is. The X is 7 years, because the US Air Force and the US Navy say, if you wanted us to teach you how to be a pilot, and we will, you got to
pay it
7
back.
years.
Yeah,
you are going to give us.
And there's Sugar, I think. Are you there?
Hello, Sugar.
Is that a photo or a video?
Yeah.
Well, he was an ex-military pilot too, so that was part of
Oh, okay.
Most American commercial pilots are military trained. They do a stint in the.
That's quite some lag.
That was phenomenal.
I was gonna say that is
That was phenomenal. Sorry, Ashoka, that was just not working at all. So that was weird. That was absolutely weird.
Love the shit out of you, Ashoka.
If we can get the lag fixed, we'll be all for it.
We're all on you. But yeah, they make them do 7 years, and the Air Force and the Navy pilots give each other shit all the time, and they both sneer at army pilots. But irony of ironies, the army pilots, who are usually helicopter drivers,
Yes.
basically usually do the most amount of combat, because they're usually the ones that are flying troops in to shoot people and getting shot at. And they're usually the ones with a better basic flying instincts and quick thinking, and they do all the weird jobs like fucking flying logs out of logging areas and fucking rescue chopper work and flying up to Mount Everest to get Japanese tourists out to take their picture and fuck off. Can you imagine flying a helicopter up the top of Mount Everest? That's where 747s go. Helicopters usually only go up around 20, 30, maybe 1,000 feet. Maybe. Mount Everest is way bigger than that.
Yeah.
And it's like, no. You've got to
I like Abigail's line.
At top red line for like an hour to stay up there, and then they get out, take a picture, get back in the fucking plane, and then you got to get off.
It's also the lower air pressure at that height is going to be very difficult for a helicopter as well.
Which is why your rotors are fucking
pushing against the air,
screaming around, just trying to get you in the air.
Well,
and then to let them out again, it's just fucking. They're still screaming out there. They say, "Get out, take a picture, get the fuck back in, because we're going to lose fuel." And then they fly down to a special camp they got set up in China, and then they've got permission to go back over to India, and then they fuel up again and do it again. They can do it usually 3 or 4 times a day. It's not traditionally the way people climb up Mount Everest.
No.
But when you get up Mount Everest, there's a big line of people.
A stupid big line of people. It's
Waiting
ridiculous.
to get up there, take their photo and fuck off. And the idea is you're only really supposed to spend 20, 30 seconds up there and got to go. Because everyone else has got to get up there before sundown.
Yeah, they do it in New Zealand, which is hardly Everest level, but because the mountains in New Zealand are quite spectacular, they do these helicopter flights like up to the top of the glaciers and stuff, and it's quite spectacular.
Glacier and all that.
Yeah, Franz
New Zealand helicopter pilots are fucking insane.
Yeah. I like Abigail's line about the military to commercial pilot thing happens in Australia as well. Airlines pay more, and broadly speaking, no one shoots at you. There's a small risk. There's a small risk of firearms getting involved.
That's the one thing that gets me these days. Kids can actually now take a subject in school to do with pilots.
Yes.
Oh my lord.
I thought you were going to say kids at school can learn how to shoot at people, but
no. I only found out about this because the high school I used to go to suddenly got this flight school class.
Okay.
Yeah.
And once a week they go down to the Rochester Airport for flight training.
Yeah. No shit. Okay. One of the guys in my house literally started to learn to fly in high school. And now he's in uni. He's finishing off his commercial pilot's twin engine, and then he's going to go on to his jets after that. And it's going to take him another 6 years, and he'll be a fully qualified jet airliner pilot. Wheels behind you. Steering wheel behind you pilot.
Watch your eyes.
Yeah.
And he's just fucking casually goes out there, gets some more hours up. And he said to us, if you ever get a few $100 for fuel, I'll fly you anywhere you want just to get hours up. And as soon as he gets his night license, we'll be fucking taking advantage of going interstate for weekends.
Nice.
That's actually one of my dad's workmates did that one time. He was a pilot and was trying to get his hours up. And what was it, $200 for the flight? And he took us up. We did the trip around the northern part of the Sunshine Coast. And oh my god, it's experience and a half.
Yeah,
a tiny little plane too.
Yeah. I like
And
those tiny
being
little
one of the
assessments
club
that go
ones
out
too. So
to Australia, and the wedge-tailed eagles attack them because they've come into their
Yeah.
territory. And you go,
Yeah, wedgies are a bit
are you
like that.
fucking kidding me? And the wedge-tailed eagle's going, no, fuck off. And then you land the plane and you see big rips out of the fucking aluminium with
Yeah.
fucking wedge-tails at a go, and you just go, shit.
There's some real fun wedge tail videos on YouTube with angry wedgies. My favorite was someone who's in an ultralight, like one of those sort of kite type ultralights, and he's flying along, goes, and there's a wedgie going, and he's like, oh, there he goes going, and then it sort of gets angry, and he still laughs and goes, it's kind of angry at me, and then the penny drops as it gets closer, and it's actually really angry. He's going, it could actually shred my canopy. That would be trivial. It could, and he's going, oh no, and he's sort of diving towards the land to
run away.
For a while, it was funny until the penny clearly dropped. Oh no, that's a pretty big bird. It could actually shred my canopy. Then I would die. And it's like, oh no!
It'd be like this.
Split, yeah. Pretty much.
No wind going through the wing and just drop.
Yeah,
because of the weight of the motor. It just drops.
Yeah, the lawnmower engine would be going spinning end over end as it hit you on the way down.
I can't believe my old man actually being up on those ultralights. Oh my god, you'll never get me on those. you can see straight down below yourself in those things.
I've been blinded twice, and if I fucking ever could get it together to run, I'd do it every weekend. But I can never run fast enough to get it off the ground again, and that pisses me off. Because I can hardly walk, so I could never run fast enough off a cliff. And you have to run off a cliff. You can't just jump off a cliff. It's not like that. It's not like base jumping where you just jump. And I'll tell you what else I'd do if they made them for fat guys: squirrel jumping.
Oh, squirrel suits. Are they the best?
I reckon you and me, Angry, would come in suits with our bigger briefcases than normal and go, yes, we have to see the top floor for maintenance checks. And then we get changed and then fucking strap the backpack on and go. I reckon we would squirrel suit through fucking Melbourne in a big hurry.
I like the guy who has the jet suit.
The jet suit
around the world and all that. I was watching a video the other day. He took off from a military ship in the channel, the English channel, that's it. And he flew from the ship and went up and around this tourist boat. And he's like saluting and all that. And then he flew back to the military ship. It was hilarious.
Well, they've kind of gone quiet on those because both the UK and the US, for a lot of years in the 50s and 60s, were looking at getting flying machines for their troops, right?
Yeah.
So they could fly in hundreds of troops. And then all of a sudden, these tiny engined flying machine suits have turned up. And they're always the problem was fuel. They went 50 meters and stopped. But now these flying machines are getting to the point where they'll go a good 200, 300, 400 kilometers before they run out of fuel. And that starts to get militarily feasible. If you drop in, say, 3,000-4,000 blokes going pretty quick, 200 kilometers away, not giving off good radar signature, that's all of a sudden militarily something worthwhile looking at. And so I'm not surprised that the guy took off from a military ship, because that sounds very much like a military test to me. And places like Europe, places like small skirmish wars would be ideal for these things, because you could land a mob of them in a big few helicopters and then get them set up, jump off a mountain, and over they go with an attack squadron. So I always don't like the idea of militaries hurting people, but I always love the stuff that comes out of it later that gives normal people like me the really cool medical and travel opportunities. Air travel came out of the Second World War.
That's fair.
Medical fucking science fucking took a big leap out of the Second World War.
That's also like the surgeons in Northern Ireland became world leaders in knee reconstruction because the IRA was kneecapping people. That's a true story. And they became the world leaders in knee reconstruction because of the amount of people the IRA kneecapped. And by the way, on that cheery note, hi Salumi, dropping by and saying hello to us. Abigail's saying she's the opposite of fear of heights after what you said, Shieldsy. Ultralights, hang glides, all the stuff where you're looking straight down. She loves it. Got her helicopter pilot license.
Oh, Dr. Abigail, you need to take me for $100 hamburger.
Yeah. Good call.
You do, because unfortunately there's this place where we need to go really fucking low through the mountains in the Great Dividing Range to get to a little place I know, or I will know when we go.
Yeah. I'm just going to say,
drinking blood.
This looks like now with the robe and stuff. I think like I'm a classy vampire at the moment. Oh, motherfucker, yes. AB positive. Oh, that's better than oh man, that's good. That's better than the last one. I'll have to remember. It's called a coin toss. So it's got rum and sweet vermouth and then little bits of a couple herbal liqueurs. They say yellow chartreuse and Benedictine. And then some Peychaud's bitters. This is some guy who considered himself a doctor, made the really high alcohol bitters and called it a health tonic. And he's set up shop in New Orleans, and everyone went, "Yeah, you say health tonic, but I'll keep a bottle or two behind the bar if that's all the same with you."
That's all the same with you. Because I need to keep my customers healthy while they're drinking cocktails.
Yeah, all those.
It's got health tonic in it.
Yeah, and this stuff, all the stuff that was supposedly made by monks, the really herbal things, they're like, "Oh no, it's a health tonic." Brother Ignatius has come up with a health tonic. Goes, does it work? Well, none of us give a fuck about being sick after having a couple glasses of it, so I say yes. I think it works.
Four drafts of health tonic, you're fucking pretty good.
Yeah. And there are all these ones made by monks, and like the really deadly one, chartreuse, which is like 55% alcohol. Like a lot of the liqueurs are lower alcohol by volume. I'm not sure. I think this is 40%, which is normal for like a spirit. So I think this is like, what does the thing say? I can't find it, but it's. Oh, wait a sec. There it is. Tiny little letters. 40%, yeah. But some of the, like this one, which is what I use instead of yellow chartreuse, it's only about 20%, I think. No, it's 40%. I'm talking shit. These are all really boozy. So this drink's got no dilution in it. It's basically
Angry is getting pissed off his head.
This is basically 40% alcohol. So it's like
like last night. Last night was a special night.
I had a couple last night. Jesus,
I haven't seen Angry that pissed in a while.
Not since New Year's, which was all.
I was going to say he missed New Year's.
You went here for New Year's. I went kind of hard on New Year's.
You were gone before the first
before the first midnight. Yeah, and we stayed up till 3 a.m. And I had
waiting on New Year's for things to happen. And they didn't, and I was awfully disappointed. And so boss of the house was crashed by 12. I had to wake him up to give him a happy New Year kiss. I was just going, all right, I'll watch some fucking YouTube then. But not celebrations of New Year's around the world.
Because I had Abigail and Annette over here as well, so it all got a bit carried away.
He goes down on the chair.
I thought I'd be a miserable prick, so I wouldn't do it. Just taking my shoes off, which is why you can't see my head.
That's okay.
My
I
eyes.
love Abigail's reference to the monks saying this was a health tonic was the same period where they thought bleeding was a cure for almost anything, which is true. It's like there's an old Tumblr meme that I thought was hilarious. Like, man,
Women.
being a doctor in the Wild West would have been awesome. Someone comes in to see if you're on ailment, go, I don't know, I think you got ghosts in your blood. You should do cocaine. And that was... It was always either the medicines were either cocaine or heroin. They called it laudanum at the time.
Or it would be, I've got a gash on my leg. Oh, cut it off.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, you're going to die.
I got a gash on my leg. Laudanum, then amputation.
Yeah.
It's the only way. And after laudanum, you go amputate the fuck away.
Yeah. It's like the whole process was laudanum and a leather belt. What's the leather bite for? Just put it between your teeth and bite down hard. And I've got a hacksaw for the rest of it. It's like, oh, Salumi, you have to do bleeding for your high iron, do you? You need to give some of that for you need to keep it in a bottle and send it to Aidsy because he has a low iron problem. So if you've got a high iron blood, drain some of it off, get it couriered across to Aidsy, and he can drink it or something. That's how it works.
Who's going to buy the dry ice, Andrew? Who's going to buy the dry ice?
Boom.
Are you going to chip in? Aye?
Oh, wow. Sorry. You would have missed this, Aidsy. You've got to steer clear of Stella's house at the moment. She's been cooking with California Reaper chilies. She just aerosolized it. She put the chopping board in the sink and ran the tap, and it's just sent. It's just sent
straight in the eyes.
So she's having a coughing fit.
Oftentimes, and we still may, but oftentimes when we'd get together for YouTube get-togethers, we'd end up at Nando's, and I would happily join everyone for 20 minutes at a time.
Yeah,
and then I'd have to go outside.
There's enough chili in the air at Nando's to make Aidsy.
There's so much chili just in the air. It'd get to my eyes and start to burn me, and I'd have to go. And then trying to get it out of my nose and let my eyes just water.
No.
I could only go in 3 times, so I had to time it real good and then get my conversations done real quick. But usually after that, the meal was over and everyone was coming out, and I was getting people to not fucking touch me, please. And
that's fair.
Home,
so that's why we went to Nando's that time after a YouTube meetup here.
With their chili fingers, and I'd get these chili burns on my arms and face. Yeah, it's like, I love you, but don't touch me.
Sorry, I was just saying, Salumi's done an update.
Chili until you start to puff up and die. It's a thing.
I have to admit, that's my favorite thing of being out with you, and we've been getting food, and you've asked, is there any chili in that? Because I'm really allergic. And they go, oh, there's not much. It's like, were you listening? Yeah, it's like, anyway, I would say shout out to Salumi. Anyone keeping date of attempts to date? Tomorrow's coffee date's been rescheduled to a dinner date on Thursday, which kind of does sound promising. But I also have to admit, I misread that in the text initially, and I thought for anyone keeping track of my armpits. And I was like, I'm keeping track of your armpits. That's fine. I could do with an armpit update.
I've seen the photos. I've read the briefings. I'm not sure if I can go through with step 4, but I can definitely go through with step 3, 6, and 8. But yes. I'll train.
Yeah. Ashoka's saying how the pharmaceutical companies ruined the free flow of high quality drugs around the turn of the 20th century.
They fucking did.
They did.
And so did William fucking Randolph Hearst and his fucking dodgy mate Henry fucking Ford, who didn't like the idea of hemp oil being a fuel.
That could outdo oil. Yeah.
Yeah. So they fucked it off and said marijuana, the plant with roots in hell. And so they got it outlawed so they could sell fucking petrol. And, I would love the idea of fucking driving down the road on a joint.
That's all good.
and-
Did you probably missed? There was a series a couple of years ago. That did 2 seasons and then sort of faded away. It was called The Nick. It was a fictionalized story of the Knickerbocker Hospital in New York in the early 20th century. And but it was all sort of based on the actual history of surgery and because surgery was just fucking guesswork at that point, and doctors were literally experimenting on people. And
have a go. Try and keep them alive. Have a go.
Shit ton of people died. They gradually got better, but yeah, all the doctors were cocaine addicts. And it was like season 2, or it might have been season 1. One of them, there was an ending of one episode where the central character is oh god, the sexy British actor. God, I keep half remembering. Keep kind of half remembering his name. He's in Children of Men, and anyway, but he was the lead.
Yeah, I know him.
I keep wanting to say his name's Hugh, and it's not Hugh, but it's something like that. Clive Owen. Thank you, Stella. Clive Owen, and he gets naked. Owen. He gets very naked in the Nick, so it was well named the Nick because he's in the Nick a lot of the time. But he's a mad cocaine addict, and he goes into rehab. And as he's going to sleep, they go, "Oh yes, the Bayer Company has come up with this wonderful treatment to get you off cocaine, and it's absolutely non-addictive." And you go, "Well, that's good." And then there's a slow track as the credits roll to the bottle, and it's heroin.
Heroin. And that was what it was called?
That was the actual brand of it. Heroin was a brand name.
It was made by the Germans to get their troops off morphine.
Off the speed, cocaine, yeah.
And it was working brilliantly. They would stop taking morphine and cocaine and keep up with their heroin.
Yes.
They were happy to keep
they were
up
very
with
good at keeping up with the heroin.
And then they would stop them with their heroin and they would lose their fucking minds.
Yeah.
Yeah. It only took them 6 years to work that out.
It was a fun little thing. Is when I like that thing that people often do it in historical dramas or whatnot, where it's like they have the person say something very knowledgeable, and you go, "Ho ho ho! From my safe vantage point in the future, I realize you are a foolish individual," because that's not how that works at all. But it was this great tracking shot of Clive Owen gently going to sleep. And it's the first time he's slept in weeks because he's been on a cocaine bender. And the camera just tracks around to the bottle, and it's got this beautiful printed label on it that goes, heroin. And it's not typed up as like an apothecary's thing. It's a commercial product. That's its brand name. And it's just fucking great. It's so good.
The Bayer Corporation made a fortune on it. And when they start to discover, because they tested it on German troops, because German troops in that time were having an awful morale difficulty. Who knew? And,
the whole losing the war.
that thing. And they weren't allowed to have any of them left, and most of them lost their jobs, and they were still wounded. And so they were on morphine a lot, and they were on cocaine a lot. And they said, we've got to get them off cocaine and morphine. So they had to invent something to do it, and they invented heroin to get them off morphine and cocaine, and it worked like a fucking charm.
Sure did.
They were so happy. They published all over the world going, "This stuff is fucking amazing," and the troops were going, "Yes, it is."
Yeah, they would have had a lot of really enthusiastic endorsements.
They did.
Fuck yeah, this stuff is great. I love this stuff.
Awesome.
No night terrors. I take some of this, and then everything is good for 12 hours.
12 hours later, I'm waking up fucking fresh as a daisy. No fucking hangover. Looking forward to my next dose of fucking pharmaceutical fucking benefit. Yeah, baby.
Oh, I'm just thinking, and the short version of this is we're all idiots and we keep doing variations of the same dumb mistake one after the other.
I mean, it's not any secret that I'm on methadone because I was slightly addicted to codeine. And Andrew, you can tell them how slightly addicted to codeine I was.
It's only a couple hundred tablets of the Nurofen Plus a day.
At the same time.
That's where you had to set aside 45 minutes just to have enough time to eat all the tablets.
Yeah. Angry would sometimes get pissed off because we were late at getting the video started as I was taking the drugs before getting the video started. And
To
then
function.
at one point said, "Can we maybe not take the drugs till after we do the video because you're going to sleep during the videos and it's starting to look a little obvious." And I was going, sure, I can do that. And that lasted for fucking 9 months.
Yeah.
And
Plus,
so
I am definitely going to dig out the video at one point of you falling asleep standing up, which was fantastic. You're just leaning on your stick. You're a tripod, 2 human legs and 1 metal leg. So you're perfectly balanced, and you're just leaning over the stick, and you nod. And I'm like, we were having a conversation, and you went, "Rrr." And I'm like, he's asleep, and the camera's rolling. I'm going to leave the camera on. How long is this going to last?
I'm just going to keep going. Did I give it the whole? No, I'm awake.
No, because I stayed quiet. I thought if I stay quiet,
Yes.
how long do you want to stay asleep there?
Well, I
Done.
do
You filmed it.
nowadays. I get so tired because I get very, very sore because they took my fucking drugs off me.
Yeah.
I get so sore that I don't sleep for days, and
Yeah.
I haven't slept in bed properly for a long time now because what's happened is I sit in front of the computer trying to learn computer stuff, and then I'll crash in front of the computer. I'll just get exhausted, and then during the sort of twilight time between having a sleep in a bed and having a sleep cat naps at the computer, I'll go, I don't know, to get a glass of water or go for a piss or something. And then if I shut my eyes for any length of time while I'm standing up, I'll start to go to sleep and start to fall. And the number of times I've not woken up quickly and stopped myself from falling, but I've actually crashed over and taken several bits of furniture with me and ended up
God.
and then my boss in the house comes through and go, "You're right." Well, no, okay, fuck you. And then he'll go back to bed, and I go, thanks a lot for that. I can't get up or sleep there, and I'm wetting the carpet. Oh, all right.
Tough love.
And then he'll get me up.
Yeah,
that's a good call. I'm wetting the carpet.
Oh yeah. Sorry, Ashoka's saying Sigmund Freud lived on cocaine. Yes, Freud was a mad cocaine head.
He was a mad coke freak. He thought it was the best shit ever, and he was right.
I was about to say, can't really fault him on that. It's
he was really right.
Always come back to Rick James, that Dave Chappelle interview with Rick James. Oh, cocaine's a hell of a drug. It's like when saying like, "Hey, Charlie Murphy told me you did this insane shit about 20 years ago," and he'd say like, "No, that's not true. Actually, it is. That happened." And so Dave Chappelle's going, "Why did you do that?" And Rick James just laughs and goes, "Cocaine's a hell of a drug." You think you can do anything?
A friend of mine once said that he had 2 friends, and he never thought he'd have one friend, but he had 3 friends actually, who burnt down their own house. First one did it, he was pissed, and he woke up one morning to find he was sleeping outside and looked up at his house and realized he had a can of petrol in his hand and his lighter in his pocket, and he realized he'd burnt down his own house, and he was pissed and couldn't remember and went, "That's not good." Second guy fucking burnt down his house, and he said, "Why'd you burn down your house?" And he said, "Cocaine's a hell of a drug." And the third guy who burnt down his house, he said, "Why'd you burn down your house?" And he said, "I don't know, but I had to. I got up and I realized I had to burn down my house. And I went through the house getting flammable stuff. But I got memorabilia and photo albums and threw them on the front yard, and then
so they wouldn't burn
petrol and burnt down the fucking house, and then stood there, and then halfway through I thought, I'm burning down my own house. That's odd. It's proper, but it's odd. I should call the fire brigade. And he did, and they called an ambulance. And he said, the strangest thing, they put me on antipsychotics for the rest of my life. And I went, I'll never hear a story like that again until I was for gangrene, which is a special disease. And there was a guy next to me who was getting leech therapy for his fingers. They were reattaching his fingers. I thought, oh, how cool. And I was talking to him about it, and I said, "Can you feel leeches?" He said, "No, you can't feel anything. They had maggots in there before too, and they're great." And I went,
Yeah.
"Oh, cool." And he said the saddest part is when the leeches have done their job, they kill them, they put them in alcohol, and they take them off to the path lab. And I went, "Oh," and he said, "Yeah, they did a good job, and now they're dead. You think
Good
they'd
little
fucking try
soldiers.
and go again." Then I said, "What happened to your fingers?" He said, "I chopped them off with a hatchet." And I said, "Can you maybe elaborate?" And he said, "Nope. I can't.
Nope.
I don't know why I did that. I needed to do that. It had to be done, and then I'd done it." Went straight into the house, called my son, and said, "Son, better pop round. I've cut my hand off."
Yeah.
And he's gone,
meth gets ice meth gets a really bad rep. Lots of other drugs will make you do stupid things too.
But he wasn't. He wasn't on drugs. He said he'd never touched a drug in his life.
Oh, it's just a psychotic thing.
It was a psychotic episode. He didn't understand it. He just said the overwhelming thought was he had to cut his fingers off. He had to.
Yep. Alien limb syndrome.
And
There's a lot of variations of that. I've heard alien limb syndrome. People who are convinced that is not part of their body, and they will cut it off.
Well, this was the other thing. He said he knew at the time that they were his fingers, that this would disable him and it would hurt. But he had to do it. And then I heard the psychs come and talk to him about it and say, "Righto, we've done all the tests and we know now that you've had a psychotic episode." He said, "But I've never had one in my life." And they said, often this happens.
First time for everything.
Psychotic episode in their life, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, bang, there it is. I should know with the anxiety. And they said, "You'll be on antipsychotic drugs for the rest of your life, and this will probably never happen again, but we'll make sure it doesn't happen again." He said,
"I'm giving you antipsychotics."
He said that would be preferable. It has been awkward, and they all laughed and said, "Yeah, I can imagine. But how's it going?" It's going, "Oh, brilliant. The leeches are doing a great job." And they went, "Yeah, they are too." "Oh, yeah. I never got to see it," which pissed me off.
I'm sure that was a big disappointment for you.
Well, they apparently they do better microsurgery than our microsurgeons.
Okay.
Because they can put, this is bizarre, they can put nerves back together, and they can put the bigger capillaries back together. They sew them back together. But they can't put micro capillaries back together, and those micro capillaries are the ones that lose and gain the blood and the carbon dioxide, and they're the ones you need to recover fastest. And they don't recover fastest, they recover slowest, and so your hand will survive, but you won't get that fantastic movement you used to have. Bizarrely enough, they have better luck reattaching little boys' glands, penises after botched circumcision with microsurgery than they do with fingers and toes after a cut injury. Because microsurgery is amazing. They do an amazing job. But the leeches and the maggots do a much better job. The maggots do a great job of cleaning all out of the wound, and the leeches do an amazing job of reattaching really fine, delicate fucking capillaries. Why they do that? They think it's because their mandibles. So you got to imagine a worm's mouth with lots and lots of teeth, tiny.
Yeah, the little circle thing. It's circular and it has horrible little.
It comes in and it closes up, and so it forces together these tiny little capillaries, and then it starts to suck the blood through. And as the blood starts to suck through, it all lines everything up, and the saliva of the leech anesthetizes everything, but also gives it this kind of weird glue, so that when the leech drops off, you don't immediately go, "Oh, I'm fucking bleeding from a leech," and it closes up immediately, so you don't kill your victim, so the leech can have another go tomorrow night.
And leeches are like that. They like to come back for more. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're walking through a rainforest, that means you're cast iron guarantee of freshness.
Yes.
And, fucking have a go. I'm allergic
Yeah.
to walking.
Ooh. A fun talking point. Abigail met someone with alien limb syndrome, and instead of cutting their arm off, they got a full sleeve tattoo that made it look like a robot arm. And then they were fine with it because then they could go, that isn't my arm, it's a robot arm I've had attached. And then they didn't cut it off. That's, as Salumi says, good workaround for the brain. Like, you couldn't get rid of the impulse to get rid of the arm, but you do a full sleeve tattoo so it looks like a robot, and you go, no, that's cool. I've just got a robot arm. It isn't my arm, it's a robot arm.
I met a bloke. I seen a documentary about a bloke who shot off his leg, and I thought, as you do. And then I met a bloke who did, and I went, wow. And it was alien limb syndrome. And he said, it had to be done. I was talking to doctors for years about getting it cut off, and they said, no, you'll get over it. And he did, with a shotgun.
Yeah, it's a pretty intense feeling for the people. And because they're sure it's the right thing to do. Yeah,
absolutely convinced. Absolutely convinced. And the thing is, right, when I was going into hospital with the fucking nitrous, those last few days, I was having some thoughts which were very fucking alien. When I was getting used to the anti-anxiolytics, I was having some very odd thoughts indeed. But I can't remember most of them, so that's better. But I can remember all of the thoughts I was having when I was fucking burning my brain out with nitrous oxide. And there was some very odd shit going down. At one point, I was convinced that all of the rooms in my house had been suspended by steel cables and were swinging under me like big fucking platforms. And that I was rocking and rolling on this big swinging platform. And that I shouldn't rock and roll too loudly because it would wake up all the neighbours. And that, I should behave myself. And I just went, and when I sort of finally came out of it all, I just went, that was odd. And then I ran away from the house 3 times, and twice I left my keys inside and had to knock on the fucking door to get let in. And that's a not cool thing to do in a block of flats. Because at the front door, it was COVID time, it was lockdown time, it was pissing down rain. And I was knocking at the door, and a couple of times cars stopped and said, "Are you okay?" And I'm going, yes, I'm fine. I've just walked out of my house. I'm just trying to get someone to let me in. And I'm drenched. And then this guy let me in, and the second time he let me in, he said some words along the lines of, fuck you, never again, fuck you, motherfucker, cunt, motherfucker, something along those lines. I went straight upstairs and went through the swinging rooms, and knew I needed to have a shower. And it took me an hour to get undressed to have a shower, and then it was dawn, which meant that it actually took me 6 hours to get undressed to have a shower. So, yeah, your brain. My brother is a psychologist, and my family was around the family dinner table, and we were talking about crazy people, and he got quite heated and said, "Right, listen, all you. I want you to understand this. When people go crazy, it's the worst day of their life, because all of a sudden their brain has betrayed them and is not doing anything they want to do anymore. And they are fully aware of what is going on, and they have no control over anything. It's humiliating, and it is terrifying. And the police turn up, and all of a sudden they shoot you. Because you all of a sudden said something to them which your back brain's going, don't say that, no, don't say that. And do drop the knife. And he said, so, be a bit fucking understanding. They're not. But I lived through it a couple of times myself and went, wow, cocaine. It's a hell of a drug. Shieldsy, I see you fucking starting to get scratchy. I know that you're looking for a bit of nose candy. Mate, if you need to just, pop away from camera, chop up, I understand, bro. Rack up a couple of lines. I get it. Shieldsy, I'm not a prude. If you need to get a little white mustache going, I'm not going to fucking, I'm not going to call a narcs on you. I will, because I'm trying to get out of a charge. I'm going to say Shieldsy sold me everything. I know where he lives. Somewhere in Queensland.
That's a very vague.
It's a starting point. It's a starting point. Is what
It's not a very vague address. It's the police. They've got your cell phone number. I don't have it. They do.
Sorry, I
found out. I was listening to Edward Snowden, and I found out why it's so easy to fucking get all of your phone records. And the same law applies here in Australia, because in America, some dickhead was heavy breathing a woman, and she managed to record the calls. And then one day a car was driving slowly past her place, and she took a photo, got the number plate. The cops said, "Yep, he's a creeper. He's the guy." And then they got the phone company to give them the records of the calls. They all lined up with the diary that she kept. They said, "Right, are you going to jail?" He appealed it and said it was his records, so they couldn't have subpoenaed them. And they argued correctly that it was, in fact, the phone company's records. They weren't his. They were the phone company's records. And the phone company was quite happy to give them over. And then very quickly after that, the federal government said, "Hey, phone company, your records also belong to us because they use our phone lines and our electricity." So in Australia, the federal law very quickly became the same. So they're joint owned by the federal government and the ISPs. And so all of your phone records, conversations and SMSs and emails are jointly owned by the fucking phone company and the government. So careful about your sexting. Might come back and bite you.
And the successive governments here have been absolutely shameless at, we want to surveil you 24/7. We want to be able to get any information we want at any time.
Yeah.
And
Shieldsy,
if you don't like it, you must be a terrorist. So
Shieldsy, listening, mate, listening. Yeah.
All right. And also, I don't know if I said hello to Nettie, who's come back from her surgery. So I'll spare your ears for a second while I shake this. So
okay. No, Shieldsy, it's fine. He's turned the mic off. Now, Shieldsy, it's time that you and me had a chat about your buying of fertilizer, and not the good kind of fertilizer, right? Because I've had a talk with the people in Canberra, and they're looking at you. That's why I said somewhere in Queensland.
Somewhere.
I've seen satellite photographs of you fucking putting fertilizer and diesel in barrels, mate, and I'm not happy. If you've got something against a certain party, government, or creed, you just talk to Uncle Aidsy. We'll sort it out in a non-violent way. Shieldsy, come on, mate. Own up, mate.
Class. I like it.
Fair call.
Fair call.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're talking about the surveilling. As Salimi says, Lawyer X, which we've talked about a couple times on streams, is a fucking shit show. The Witness K. Oh no, sorry, that's back for Lawyer X was the mob lawyer from Melbourne who was actually informing to the cops the whole time, which is illegal and
Illegal.
has ended up with a bunch of criminal cases being thrown out. Now it's come to light. So, but that was wild. That story, what's her name? Gobbo, which is just an awesome name as well. And she was lawyer to the big Melbourne crims, and they all actually suspected she was telling the cops stuff, and she was. And it's like, cops, that is fundamentally illegal. Like, yeah, and she's saying, oh, these guys who I've ended up representing is so bad, I can't in good conscience keep secret the things they tell me. And it's like,
yes, you can, darling. Yes,
yeah,
you can.
but you being told these things in confidence and then telling the cops is actually super illegal and is now letting a bunch of crims actually get off the hook because it's like, well, my conviction is dodgy because it might all the evidence might have been true, but it was illegally gained. So there you go.
You know what surprises me, Angry, after being in the game for a little while, is that they say you can tell your priest and your prostitute anything.
Yeah.
And I know that what priests will do is drop a hint. If they're really fucking not happy with what they hear in the confessional, they'll drop a hint.
Well, if a priest
will fucking get run down to the ends of the earth by her friends and or agency if she fucking lets anything slip about anyone. You don't want to be around if a name comes out of your fucking head after you've been in the game. That never, ever wants to be you. Because it's not the mob that'll hurt you. It's the other girls. They'll fucking take you. Because you take the whole fucking concept of the profession and run it through the shit. As soon as you break the seal of confidence, you harm us all. And it's like fucking it's the same sort of sacristy as the geisha have. You know, no one knows who the geisha was out with last night, and we'll never know what happened. It's that same sort of thing. You can tell your prostitute anything, and it'll never come out. You know, and it has, but you know, those girls haven't lasted long. It's a funny world where the two apparently diametrically opposed professions take
sex
pride.
Sex workers have a lot more integrity than the clergy. Is all I'm going to say.
That's what I'm saying.
Can you see that? I was just wondering. Oh, you probably can't, but can you see there's etching on the edge of that glass?
Sort of.
Oh,
yes.
yeah. I see it.
Yeah, you probably can't read it. This is one of my lockdown purchases from my favorite bar Americano. Besides ordering some of their bottled cocktails, I got these really cool glasses they sell. And etched along the rim there is drink less, drink better. So they're all about just drink really high quality stuff and enjoy that. So
okay,
that's what I'm doing.
on. Drink responsibly. You know.
I've got to go there because there's, you know, how they've let a lot of places, particularly in the city, do like footpath service and whatnot now. This is actually really working for Bar Americano because it was a tiny venue. It was just a tiny little bar, and it couldn't really fit more than a dozen people in it. And now with COVID restrictions, the inside bit can probably have 4 people in it. But it's in a laneway, and they were allowed to put tables in the laneway, so they can now actually serve. They were never allowed to put tables in the laneway before because of the licensing laws, but now they said, "Oh, we've got to help people. You've got to be able to serve like on the footpath or street." And now in this laneway, they put tables. They can actually serve more people than they could before COVID. And the dude who runs the bar, he's been like running bars for 20 or 30 years. And he's like, oh, finally, we're getting out of this fucking backward Puritan licensing laws. Be a bit more like Italy, where you trust people to just like sit out on the street and have a drink
and be
and
adults,
not be an idiot. Yeah.
Bloody here in Northcote along High Street, there was a cafe opened, and it literally had a window open on the street, and people would come up to the window and buy their coffee. And during the COVID thing, they started putting tables in the bushes, and then they had to thin them out. But they've left them there.
Okay.
And so now most people come up to the window, order and pay, and then go sit down. And the wait staff come out with their stuff, and they eat as well as smoke. And no, you're not allowed to smoke. You're not allowed to
You
smoke.
are not allowed to
take
smoke.
the smoke
No.
around the corner, where there's no
Can't
tables
smoke
on.
where
There's some of the
food
best
things
graffiti in Northcote. And basically, this cafe found COVID a complete boon because they were able now to put seats outside. But because, Northcote's a funny place. It's got really wide footpaths. Great, which means you can put tables on them. But as soon as they put tables on them, the footpaths become tiny, and you get in that whole, squeezing past one another as you go through and waiting until the pram comes through. Get out of the way! I've got a baby. They're thinking about pushing the cars further out, pushing the bike lane further out, and not having the cars pretend there's two lanes, and making sure the cars go, there's only one lane. You're not allowed to go over it. That's where the bikes live. And they're thinking about putting the cars on the outside of the bike path and having the bikes on the inside of the cars. Having the cars protects the bikes, not having the bikes protect cars, which is stupid because bikes you can just run over and cars will actually do damage to your car. So having bikes protecting cars is much, much better than the other way around. And bicyclists are fucked because I can't ride a bike. Part of it's jealousy and part of it's the fact that they go through red lights with impunity, and I hate that. I'd like bikes to be registered. I really would. Have a little GPS register tag, and as soon as they go through a red light, flash. That's another $300 coming to you, bike boy.
Put them on the racing bikes. Idiots.
Yeah, I think actually automatically if you wear Lycra when you ride a bike, then it's just
Lycra. Here's your fucking
should be a thing.
GPS tag that you've got to put on your bike. Oh, but no, put it on. Otherwise, the police will stop you and say, we want to see your license. Blip, blip, no license. Yeah. Oh, dear. It's to jail with you, with your Lycra pants and nothing else. And the inmates know what to do with you with your Lycra pants and nothing else.
I was about to say Lycra pants in Priz wouldn't be good. Oh, Frankie the Skin. Hey, buddy. How you doing? Must be your morning there.
Yeah, you're the neo-Nazi. How you doing? Here's a bike-panted young man for you. Yes, he's into computers and not much else. Off you go.
Lumi's talking about a concoction she made up, apparently influenced by Starbucks, but with gin added. Frozen dragon fruit, frozen mango, and lemonade. And you can put lots of ice if you want it like a slushie. I've actually got some frozen dragon fruit in the freezer. I've got frozen dragon fruit and frozen passion fruit in there. I could make something with that, but I'm feeling lazy.
One thing that pisses me off with cyclists is the ones who ride along the busiest possible road where there is a dedicated bike track or footpath.
Yes. What the fuck is that? Like on my street where I was complaining about the small footpaths.
Mm.
There's fucking cyclists riding down those fucking footpaths, and you're going,
Yes.
there's a bike lane fucking a meter that way.
Mm.
Get on the fucking bike lane. Now, sometimes I see these people coming and I go, grr, angry, and then I see the three kiddies coming behind. That's actually legal. That's as legal as hell. And that's cool. That's fine. But I see these fucking assholes, riding down the footpath, and they're usually smiling. And I go, you smile a lot less when I put my cane through your front spokes.
Yeah.
Face plant on
Do it indie
asphalt. But and I've wanted to so badly so many times, and boss of the house goes, no.
I had, back when I lived in Sydney, bike couriers were a big thing in the CBD, and that doesn't seem to be a thing. And I don't know if it's died out in Sydney, but it doesn't seem to be a thing in Melbourne. But it was very big in the 80s and 90s, bike couriers in the CBD, and they thought they were fucking heroes and whatnot. And I remember the footpath thing. One time, the really busy footpath, this fucking asshole comes screaming up the footpath really fast, and it was like George Street, so and it just nearly hit 6 people, and without thinking, I just went, "You can't!" and it was just like an exclamation of shock because this guy just shot through people, and he was a fairly big guy, and he was a cyclist like, and he was fairly muscly, and so he leaned over to threaten me and said, "What'd you say?" And I just lost it, and I just screamed in his face. I just screamed in his face and went,
and the angry came out.
Can't. I hope a truck hit you at the next fucking intersection, you piece of fucking shit. And he was just like, what? Because he thought he was going to threaten, because he was like 6 inches taller than me, which is not that difficult. But and he did this big He-Man thing, and I just lost it and screamed in his face. And he was all sort of, oh, okay then. And all the other pedestrians are going, little golf claps for that one. And
I used to know a bike courier here in Melbourne, and he said the company tells you do not ride on the footpaths in the CBD because the people in suits and people in t-shirts and ladies will hit you in the face as you were riding along, and you will go down onto the ground and hurt yourself. And so he said, what you can do is dice with taxis, because fuck them. They hate you and you hate them. And what you can also do is get lifts with trams, but they do tend to stop. Be aware. And I fucking saw this courier coming down Burke Street, and there's 2 trams coming opposite directions, and he goes straight through the middle. And I'm going, I shit my pants watching that. The reason you don't see any bike couriers in Melbourne anymore is because of the Uber and Didi and the other one, the yellow one. Deliverers. They do all the couriering now because they will deliver anything cheaply and quickly.
That's
Abigail makes a fair point about avoiding the door zone with bike lanes, which a video I put up probably 10 years ago on YouTube when I was riding a bike into the city, and I've got the camera on the front of the bike saying, this is the ride, going down St Kilda Road, and a taxi driver opens the door right into me, and I just barely swerved through. So there's this great person going, we're just going down the road, and you fucking cunt!
I'll go see that one.
It's really tricky. I know I get worried when boss of the house rides to work every day, and I do because I'm a little old man who's scared of everything.
Yeah.
And I insist on a call saying I got there safe. And we also have, because I'm a manky cripple who tends to get fucked up and in sick all the time, we have locator permission on each other's map. Which you've got, by the way, if you ever want it, Angry. And basically, if I can see he's got to work okay, then I'm okay. And if I see him going to a hospital, I started to get worried. And then one of the things he has said is that he rides directly down the middle of the bike path, because not only have you got to worry about cars slicing the bike path really finely, but you've got to worry about other bikes fucking passing you, sometimes on the inside, which is not cool, and oftentimes on the outside and being dicks. But you've also got to give yourself just enough mind space to flick out when the door opens. But you can't go too far into the car lane, because cars go so much faster than you. They can't stop at speed, and they will fucking arse end you, and you're gone. And so, he says you've got to fucking get that line just right, and be aware of everything all the time. And he says he loves it. He feels very alive when he's doing it. I just feel terrified. But we're engineering a tricycle for me, and getting an electric engine. And I'm going to go bike riding with Boss of the House, and that'll be cool.
Yeah. I actually found it, for people wondering in the chat, I actually just posted the link of my bike ride to work. It's a 12-minute video where I'm mainly going down St Kilda Road. And from the comments, what I actually yell at the taxi driver who opens a door right into me is I scream wanker at him. And because there's comments in there going, wanker, lol. It's just
wanker, fucking wanker.
But it's a 12-year-old video, so you get to see young me, 12 years younger, and probably 20 kilos lighter. So,
I've got to lose my COVID weight. Can you see my chins?
You can't. That's why I have a beard, so you can't see my fucking chins.
Well, I've got to do a video of me shaving with my straight razor. Because did you know I've got a straight razor now?
Oh, okay. That doesn't seem at all dangerous, so that's cool.
Well, look how much I've cut myself.
You do look pretty. You do look very pretty. So.
And I just my last shave was really shit and rough, and I'm going, what's going on there? And I was thinking, you've done only 10 shaves with this razor, but
here we go.
You're supposed to throw them away after 5, or strop them, and I don't have a strop, and I wouldn't know how to strop, and I'm not a stropper. So I'm going to simply throw the blade away. And I found out the blade that I had in was this inferior blade, but the blades that I've bought are superior blades. So next time you see me, I'll probably have cuts all the fuck over me, because you can't. Okay, you've got a razor blade, right? And the idea is you've got to scrape it along the flat edge of the blade. If you move it across, you will cut yourself. If you turn a circle, you will cut yourself. And the blade has a thing called a heel and a toe. The toe is the furthest part away from you, and the heel is the closest part to you on the blade. And you can use the heel and the toe to get at very finicky areas. But you've got to keep the same rules. You've got to keep it.
Sorry.
What's that?
I found it.
Oh, you found the video. Sorry.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Close, isn't it? I've seen it. It's close, isn't it? You see it come out and you think, there's no fucking way. He's gonna
I think I by about that much. Like, this asshole literally opens the door straight into me. I'm like, ah! The only worst thing that's happened to me on a bike is up around Footscray. I was riding down here, and I'm like, there's a bike lane, and there were 2 lanes for traffic, and I'm riding and a bit going downhill, and I just heard this truck air horn go, and I went, don't question it, and I just jumped the footpath. I said, I don't know what that is. Get off the road. I jumped the footpath, and what it was is there was a right turn halfway down this hill, and this truck had come down picking up food, and someone was in the right turning lane, stopped, and this truck swerved into the left lane, but overcorrected and was going straight at me and did the air horn. If I had taken the second to look over my shoulder and say, what was that about? It would have been all over. I would have been pancaked. But I just heard this truck air horn and I went, "Fuck it," and I jumped the footpath, and this truck just went zoosh, didn't even slow down. And I just thought, if you weren't probably a foot taller than me.
I gave someone a fright.
Oh, if you weren't a foot taller than me and probably on methamphetamine, I would chase you down and have a big fucking. But truck drivers are antsy at the best of time because of the fucking meth they're on. But
if anyone
You're
wants to see Angry almost getting whacked by the cab door, it starts from about 4:25 in.
look, if everyone wants, I can actually share it. It's at about 4:20, isn't it?
Do it.
4:25 is when it starts.
Have a look. Let's have a look from 4:20 and.
All right. All right. So I'm going to put this on. See how big we can do this. Oh, wait a sec. Okay. I'm going to do a share screen. Where are we?
Share audio as well, mate.
Yes. Thank you for the reminder. A Chrome tab to
Poor Stella.
YouTube.
I gave her the fright.
You did when you suddenly shrieked. All right. So I'll play this and let's come on, play your stupid bloody thing.
I'll pass him on the inside. Smooth move.
Yeah, pretty smooth.
Accelerate.
Here's the taxi.
Here we go.
Oh no, not that one.
No.
Okay.
Oh no, red light, damn it.
No.
Here's the
This
taxi.
one.
Here he is.
This
Here
one.
he is.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh fuck. Jeez.
Oh god.
So yeah. Oh my god, I needed a steady cam basically. It's a bit of, but yeah, no, that,
Steadicam stage.
yeah, that I've literally just got like a gorilla pod wrapped around the handlebars of the bike, so every movement of the handlebars is a bit jerky.
That's great. I love that. I think. That
Yeah, like, but if I did that now just with an iPhone, an iPhone has a bit of motion smoothing in the video. If I did it with an iPhone,
the new GoPros. Oh my god, you
Oh,
can't even
yeah, no, that's the
see
whole
them
way.
move now. They're freaky.
Yeah.
yeah,
But I mean, I still think that whole movement of the bike back and forth shows the better feeling of what it's like to be fucking hunting down a road with cars all around you and fucking having to orient yourself. Fucking trying to look fucking 480 degrees around your head to see if anything's trying to kill you, and a magpie.
That's it.
And,
Silumi's saying a lawyer her mum used to work with rode to work every day, rode into someone's door, was airborne long enough to make a decision to play dead when they hit the ground. So,
Talking about magpies, I know how to outsmart them.
Oh, do tell.
If they see you riding your bike, jump off your bike, take your helmet off, because all they can see in their eyes is the helmet.
Okay,
I did that with a magpie down the road here. It was stalking me. As soon as I took my helmet off, it's like, where'd it go?
Yeah, that's a wild
It
one.
was freaky.
I honestly stopped riding bikes in Melbourne. There was an incident where a woman was killed on Swanston Street by I think it was by a bus, one of these tourist buses that were there. Just pulled out here, and I was like, okay, that's it. And then I just read the story, and it was like, there was woman hit by early news was woman killed by bus, and then I read the story after her husband was seeing stuff and goes, oh, my wife rides down there. I wonder if it's her. And it took him half an hour to find out she'd been killed.
God.
And I was reading the story, go, oh, that's sad. And it was like, and she was 4 months pregnant, and I went, oh, I just lost it. No, that's like instant tragedy.
In South Bank, Brisbane, as you walk from South Brisbane Station to the convention centre under the rail lines there, the entrance to the southeastern busway freeway busway entrance there.
Yeah.
Years. They didn't have anything to stop people walking out, and people would just walk straight out.
Yeah.
Straight out
Into
in front of
traffic.
all the buses, and every week there was one instant when someone was hit by a bus there.
Oh, yeah.
Now they have sliding doors.
Yeah.
Thank fuck.
They
I wonder
shut,
how long it
they
takes,
lock,
you know. And
and
Yeah.
then
with big writing on it, "Hey, dickhead, buses." But in big letters that have got circles round for Queenslanders, so it's slowly. You read it really slowly. For Queenslanders, and there's
Yeah.
announcements. Hi, mate. As
No,
you
that's
come
Darwin.
through
That's how they
this
talk in
door-
Darwin. They talk so slowly in Darwin, it does my head in. Like every now, I was listening on the news one night, and there's someone going, "What you've got to understand," and I thought, "Is there a comedy show on the TV?" And it was a Northern Territorian parliamentary minister talking to the ABC, and it was like a fucking just going, "What you've got to understand is," they talk so fucking slowly.
The bigger
our
the
ones have got
sky,
big
the
mouths.
longer the time. Anyway, fucking two tragedies that stick with me. Was that my father, my sister-in-law's father, got run down in Spain, and he was a mad keen cyclist. He bought a $20,000 bike. He loved it. He loved cycling, and he wore the lycra, but it wasn't lycra. It was a different fabric than that. It was space age fabric.
Right.
His helmet was a $5,000 helmet, and it was no fucking around. And
Yeah.
the reason he did live the 5 days when he got hit by the car was the $5,000 helmet. He got literally T-boned through a red light by this car, and shouldn't have lived at all, but did. Very fit, very strong man, and unfortunately he just couldn't make it. But the thing that shat me even more was I was living in Melbourne, and I'd really just become totally manky. I'd just really become utterly crippled by this point. They'd given me the fucking chemo and the bodybuilder drugs. I can't remember what they're called now. Steroids. They give me the steroids and the chemo, and I was fucking useless. I couldn't pick things up. I couldn't pick up a cup of coffee, and I couldn't pick up a 2-litre bottle of milk. And there was on the news, this guy was walking across the pedestrian lights during the Hell Ride, and he got run over and killed.
Yes.
And then a month later, there was this group of bikes who got in front of the press and had this solemn oath that they would obey the road rules and that they would be responsible on the road. And I lost my fucking shit.
Because they thought that was special.
Because you don't get to promise.
Yes, you just have to do it. You just have to do it.
Promise to obey the law. You obey the fucking law. And it was like they were deciding to obey the law. And it's like, you overprivileged fucks. You can afford your lycra and your bike. So you think somehow that fucking saying, "Oh yes, I'll do the thing the peasants have to do," is somehow special. And it was like, I wanted to fucking get a high-powered assault rifle and a few friends. Say, ring up my mates in America and go, "Suey," and fucking give it some. You know, run and fucking cycle faster than this.
It was that idea that they were doing something special by saying they would try really hard not to kill anyone else. And
fuck you, and fuck where you breathe. And I was so angry. And Mrs. Aidsy at the time was saying, "You have to calm down. You're doing pains in the head." And I did actually pop a vein in my eye. And went red in one eye. because I was so angry.
So frustrated.
Well, you
yeah.
were
Later,
seeing
He
red.
was worried that I was going to get
Yeah,
my
exactly,
arrest
right?
and start smashing shit around the fucking house. I
Oh,
was so
Oh,
angry,
God.
and I stood up in my little chair, and I was like, because I couldn't even stand up straight, and I was like yelling and screaming and fucking really going off. And
imagine.
she said, "No, you've got to bring it back." She knew not to say calm down. She knew to say you got to bring it back. You've got to bring it back. You got to bring it back a notch. You got to bring it. You got to bring it down a notch. You got to bring it down. And finally, I went, yeah, I got it. Yes, I got it. Come, motherfuckers, smoke. And went outside and had a cigarette, and she's going, oh, thank you, Jesus, because she thought I was literally going to get my metal stick, which I've still got to get back from my swordsmith
Right.
friend.
Oh, you're getting repairs from the blacksmith.
Yeah, because it fucking broke off properly this time. And so he said, I'll make a new one. I'm not going to fucking continue fucking repairing it because this is the 8th repair. He said, you're getting a new one. And it's sexy as hell. I've seen designs. And it's even more weighted correctly. You know what I mean by that.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's got a 6-month waiting order. He's no longer doing his day job. He's full-time blacksmith now. I'm very proud. 6-month waiting order.
Oh, nice. Is he
Fucking
still
awesome.
like in that place in Yarraville or
Close, yes.
near
He's moved
Footscray?
to another place, Yarraville, Footscray, but it's in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's where he was last time. Anyway, look, I am actually going to go to bed because I have had the drinks and stayed up to
You've
2
got
a.m.
the buzz going. You need to
Yes,
Get rid of
and
it.
so I think I'll go to bed at a reasonable hour tonight and probably be online again. Well, it's technically I was going to say, oh no, it's only 10:30. See, this is fucking weird. I feel that's 40 minutes longer than I normally do a
That's
stream.
only
for.
9:30 here, so you're early.
And I feel like I'm cutting it early. Yeah. Tomorrow night, Sunday night, we'll probably be live again. I mean, something could always happen in the meantime. So yeah. So good night, all. Look after yourself, one and all. Be back tomorrow. In the meantime, gonna scoot out.
Thank you for letting me play on your device, and you should subscribe to Angry and give him